All right, Draven. I played the intro. There we go.
I think you had the intro muted.
I had the intro. What? Oh, you didn't play the audio?
Oh, well.
Oh, I didn't.
You
I
had
didn't
it
play the
muted.
audio. Oh,
You got it, man.
That's it. Start over.
Yeah, start the intro over. Rewind. Take two.
Do it again.
Does that mean,
Sorry about that.
do we have to,
Oh, it's all
do
right.
we have to sing the intro next time? Or?
You know what?
Oh, well,
Whenever I
that
gotta share my screen, I never have to share sound because I'm always just doing the game on the screen.
Mhm.
I never use audio.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I never think about it. Dang it. I heard it.
I feel like I start session while I'm playing it.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
welcome
dude.
everybody. I'm doing good. I got Kai here, Machiny 90, and
Yes,
then
sir.
Mando Merc.
Yep.
Yeah. So if people want to introduce themselves, go right ahead. You can start with you, Kai.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Kai.
As you sip your papers.
I was just going to go through the papers. He's just doing his taxes. That's all.
I make fun stuff. I do a trivia board game every Sunday here on the YouTubes, and yeah. So if you need a couple hours of escapism, watch some people fail at trivia or succeed sometimes, fight Brack and Space Ghost and whatnot, then go ahead and tune in on Sundays. Yeah. Next up, Mando or Machiny.
I will let Machiny go.
Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon. Sorry. It's Machiny90, artist, artist guy. If you notice, you can find me on YouTube, Machiny90, same name. You can find me on Instagram, Machiny90, same name. You can also find me on my Teespring store where I have my Maki merch. So glad to be here.
Machiny.
All right, and that just leaves me. I'm Mando Merc, and I also have a second channel called Cast and Shadows, which is in the chat. And I do gameplay videos, shenanigans, and then on Cast and Shadows, I do more news and topics of such. I'm actually planning on doing a Cyberpunk review when that comes out, and hopefully I'll be able to do a Halo one soon after, depending on financial reasons. But yeah.
Nice. So, do we have any topics for today, or are we just
I
gonna
actually do have a few topics.
Okay, cool.
Are we gonna talk about the Ubisoft? What was it? The Ubisoft Forward?
I was gonna, that was one of them. That
Okay.
the forward thing where they showed off some gameplay of Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion, and I heard a lot of people talk about people that got their hands on and played it, and I've been hearing a lot of good things about Watch Dogs Legion. Some worrying things too, like the worrying things are not like that much of a concern. It depends how you look at it, because a lot of people are concerned because every NPC, excepting the main villains, like every NPC you come across is a playable character if you recruit them. Are they all going to play the same, or are they all or are you just not going to be compelled to really care about any of them? That's I think some of the problem. But I think that's something that I think some will be better than others. Like, no doubt, they probably put more care into some than others, but I don't think that's going to be a case where you don't care about them. That being said, like, if you want to have an army of grannies or an army of sluts, you're able to in that game. So, and yeah, Runner Studios makes a good point. Ghost of Tsushima came out, but the reviews are in. No, wait, yeah, it did
I don't know if the reviews are in, but
I think it comes out Friday.
Some reviews are in, and it looks.
A lot of people are
it
like,
looks like a hit. It looks like it's gonna be a hit, a big hit.
Good.
To quote Skill Up, he said it's probably the best open world game ever. But,
Which game?
Ghost of Tsushima,
the PS4 exclusive.
Oh, I don't care then.
Yeah, exactly. Reviews are in.
Basically,
I was really looking forward to this game because it's essentially the feudal Japan Assassin's Creed game I always wanted. Except I don't have a PS4 and I don't have any plans on getting one. So
Yeah, I'm there.
I'll have to wait like 4 years to play it when they like put it back on PC sometime.
I'm interested. I'm interested in this because I guess I like the samurai stuff and hearing that it has the most authentic katana based combat you'll see in any video game.
Most definitely.
Authentic. It definitely looks good. I'm definitely looking
Oh,
forward
yeah.
to it.
My only thoughts on it are, since I know nothing about it, is that when you said you can have an army of grandmas or an army of sluts, I instantly thought of
That's Legion.
Producers.
Oh, that's Watch Dogs Legion.
That's Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh,
And
okay.
then the other one.
Only
Yeah,
sex workers
to,
and have an army of sex workers.
My brain jumped to what's it called, the Producers, where he goes around banging all the grannies.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm like, I mean, you mean that's kind of describing my game plan right there. But
Low mobility, but a lot of conspicuous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and Apollo Patriot makes a point. Well, actually, one thing. Ghost of Tsushima takes place in 13th century Japan. Just want to put that out there, but because it's when the Mongols invaded the island of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's very accurate. It
looks
really
awesome.
stunning, and they have like a customization. From what I can tell, it's not like hey, pay whatever to get this skin.
Apollo, are you referring to Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
I think he is.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed,
or is what I'd like to call Assassin's Creed. Let's try The Witcher 3 again. This time it'll work.
So here's the thing on the Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because a bunch of people got their hands on it and played it, and they said it's fun. The combat's great, but it's not an Assassin's Creed game.
Okay.
It's not, and I figured that because I played
So
when it came
does
out.
it play more like a Dark Souls then?
It plays more like it's trying to be The Witcher mixed with.
Okay.
It's trying to be a historical fantasy RPG, which is what it is now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And Assassin's Creed used to be a historical fiction action
Used
stuff,
to be.
which is not the same as historical fantasy. Historical fantasy is where you have like monsters and this and that. Historical fiction is where you pretty much have close to accurate history with subtle differences like characters, or in the case of Assassin's Creed, the Assassin Brotherhood versus
Historical accuracy.
Right. So, I mean, if you take, say, Assassin's Creed 1 and then you compare it to Assassin's Creed Origins, right, because they're kind of like the, I guess, 10-year difference there. Assassin's Creed 1, the initial cinematic trailer, you saw Altair using a crossbow, and then in the final game, they removed it because in the 11th century, they didn't have crossbows.
Yeah.
Whereas in Origins and Odyssey and now Valhalla, they don't really care. They're going for that more vibe.
I did wonder. I'm like, where?
You don't have a crossbow in Valhalla though.
I was
they're
like,
going more.
Or not Valhalla, Origins. I mean.
I do wonder. Is like, does the fight between the assassins and the Templars go all the way back then? I mean, I know it's a.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can understand Origins because obviously Origins of the Brotherhood, that's fine. But now you're going, well, at least Odyssey was going even further back, so there are no assassins or Templars. How is it, and also with Origins, because I haven't played obviously I haven't played Valhalla because it's not out yet, and I haven't played Odyssey, but I have Origins, I have played it, and it's really not an Assassin's Creed game. It's pretty much like Ubisoft wanted to make a historical fantasy RPG, and they didn't have the balls to make a new IP, so they just slapped the Assassin's Creed IP on it. So this way it has a dedicated, fan base and everything that's already interested, and this way I don't have to worry. But
see, my thing is with the different like Origins and Odyssey and stuff is, they might be Spartans, and those things had assassins to some degree. Like they had stealthy, I would assume stealthy characters in history.
Oh yeah, but it's not like
So like,
yeah, it's
yeah.
Assassins versus the Assassin Brotherhood of the franchise that we all know and love.
yeah.
And like for instance,
Yeah, I look at it and I keep thinking For Honor just because I spent a good time playing For Honor used to. So every time I see Vikings, every time I see that, I just get a For Honor vibe. Or like the assets, like it's just too similar.
yeah, and the problem also with a lot of this, at least for me, a lot of the newer Assassin's Creed games is in the older ones, it was all about stealth. You'd have to you can go, guns blazing, so to speak, and just charge with your sword or with your axe or whatever melee weapon you chose to have, and you can just fight them. But you also had stealth approaches. You can blend in with the crowd. You can blend in here and there. And I thought, like say Assassin's Creed 4 really built upon that really well. But Origins, they got rid of the ability.
You mean
Black Flag, right?
Black Flag,
Black Flag, or okay, yeah.
Yeah, with Edward Kenway, the pilot, and all that,
yeah. Because
in that one, because I want to say Assassin's Creed Revelations, because I think that's the pinnacle of Assassin's Creed in terms of gameplay. But Assassin's Creed Black Flag did build on it in terms now you can climb around trees, and now you can blend in with the bush, hide in bushes. So they did expand some things there. So.
And the ship combat, which was my favorite part.
The ship combat was freaking amazing, where I'd sometimes just jump off my ship, swim to another ship, and stealthily take it over, and then board it.
That's all I would do with ship combat. They're like, "Oh, assassin game? Nope, ship game."
Come on now.
What do you guys like better, the Assassin's Creed or the what's it called? Gotham? Not Arkham.
Arkham games,
yeah.
Arkham hands down.
Arkham is good,
and not just because I'm a Batman fan. So
I feel like they're two different games, to be honest.
They're two different games, yeah.
It's also different per game. So
they're both a mix of action, combat, and stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. So, I played the Batman games. I played the Arkham games.
Also, one of the problems with Valhalla, I mean, this isn't a problem of the game itself, but when it's releasing is. It's releasing very close to the current release date of Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It's
just asking to die.
I don't think it's gonna die.
No, there are people
that Ubisoft. This is Ubisoft, and Ubisoft, their games will definitely sell. But you're putting it that close to a juggernaut that is, Cyberpunk 2077. Expect your sales to not be as high as you want it to be.
Right.
Yeah, people got budget.
Yeah, I have.
That's like
I'm only gonna be able to get one game right now. It's Cyberpunk, unless I get more.
Oh, that's like Alan Wake. That happened to Alan Wake. Red Dead Redemption, the first one, came out right when that came out, and it just got buried. But that game is amazing.
No, I don't.
But it just got overlooked.
Apollo Patriot, are you talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Because I don't think they're going to get sued by The Witcher, by CD Projekt Red. Why would they get sued?
Yeah.
One's a Viking game and one's traditional fantasy game.
Yeah.
Like medieval fantasy that's completely different. And there are a lot of differences, but there also are a lot of similarities. I did hear that the combat in the Valhalla is better than The Witcher 3, but that only makes sense. How many years has it been since The Witcher 3 came out? So
I'm actually playing through that now for the first time.
Apollo, I don't think that's going to be the thing because, first off, The Witcher is all based on Polish folklore, whereas Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that's Nordic.
Yeah, it's Norse mythology there. And I have no doubt you'll probably be fighting Norse mythology creatures, such as the Jorgen one.
Oh, they're definitely gonna have you fight
the world serpent, the middle. Midgard serpent. That's it. I'll try and actually pronounce his real name.
If anything, you're stepping into God of War's kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, that God of War maintained its.
Well, I only say that because.
Hell yeah.
Because in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I saw a gameplay where you fight a Minotaur and you fight.
Oh yeah, you do. I just fought that recently. It's awesome.
Like you fight all these, Greek mythology creatures.
You get that flashback. You're
It only makes sense.
you're reminded how Kratos basically fucked up Greek mythology in a way that is unrecoverable.
Yeah.
What Greek mythology?
Mhm.
After he had his way with it.
Meanwhile, the Greek people, their crops stopped growing. Like things just stopped. They're like, "What happened? Where are the gods?"
I told the same thing. I was like, if that's anything I learned from God playing all the God of War games, I'm like, the Greek gods are absolute assholes.
Yeah. It's.
Pretty accurate.
I don't know if
though.
you guys played the new God of War, but
I
Zeus
played
is
it.
in Helheim, so it's like the hell. So yeah,
I played it and I absolutely loved it.
it was great.
I love the story.
I've seen some reason playthroughs and stuff. It looks dope.
I was like, we don't see a good, like father son story in video games. So that was like,
I think my favorite part of it was the archangels or the Valkyries. I mean, that you fight. That was my favorite. Those things are awesome.
I guess we're looking at what are you talking about, Shellback?
That's what I'm asking.
Wrong
Chat. Like what?
Are you referring to? Oh, he's referring to. Okay, so in Valhalla, you could switch between the male and female versions on the fly.
Oh,
That's what he's referring to.
Yeah,
well, I got a
that
bad thing.
is a little weird.
That is weird. Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess however you want to play, you can play.
Yeah, that's
that.
how you want to play. I'd rather just stick to just pick one gender and then just go from there.
Yeah, the thing that with that is if it's like with Odyssey, there's like a story. It's story driven based on what character, like
Right.
what gender you pick. So like,
Just whichever
how are
one
they?
you don't pick is the sibling that you have to fight at the end. Or whatever.
Yeah, which is weird. Well, like, how are they gonna do if they do something like that in the new one? Like, I don't know. Unless it doesn't matter. I don't know.
I don't think. I think they're just going. It's more or less like you play as a female version of this character, or like it's the same character, just one's female, one's male.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Right.
in Cyberpunk, like you can be female V or male V.
Mm,
Right.
I think I'm playing female in that. I don't know.
I don't know. I look at the face.
I'm leaning
like,
towards
I'm
female.
like, no offense, but I'm looking at the face. I'm like, you a little too mannish in the design. I was like, I understand it's Vikings and all, but still.
They should have read some Thor comics for some good
Yeah.
inspiration for female characters.
Right.
Even not referring to Lady Sif, or you're like say,
Yeah.
like Hildegard or something. Like she's a
Mhm.
bitch, but butch woman. Sorry, but she still looks like a woman. You know? It's-
I will be right back. Don't wreck the ship.
I won't.
no guarantee.
I can't guarantee we're gonna steer it to an iceberg. Okay, I can't guarantee that.
All right.
So,
My favorite, so someone trying to assure somebody that they're going to do their best is Bart Simpson. He tells Lisa, "I can't promise I'll try, but I'll try to try."
so I guess since we're still on the topic of the Ubisoft Forward, how do you guys feel about Far Cry 6? What you saw from the reveal?
I'm not a big Far Cry fan, so I don't care.
Same.
Okay, same. It's just the trailer was interesting. I know it's set in kind of like a Cuba. It's kind of like a Cuba.
Yeah, it
revolution.
reminded me of a level from Hitman 2016.
Okay.
Bad way. Just it reminds me of that level. I'm like, okay,
Far Cry,
that's it. Okay, that's it. Okay.
And
aren't Far Cry's like previews and stuff always in a jungle? He's always in a freaking jungle in a robot suit.
well, this was like a tropical island stuff, and with 4 being, I think it's like in the Alps or something like that. Far Cry 5 was in Montana, kind of like a fictionalized rural America and Montana thing. So it was definitely dealing with the whole Christian cult. And with Far Cry 6, it's very kind of, I guess, inspired by kind of like a Cuban revolution going on in South America, or like a South American kind of. And just like Far Cry 5, it's still being hit with controversy, or at least the journalists are still attacking it for not taking a political stance as such. But I don't want to get into that.
all that crap. Yeah, cry about it, bitches.
All right, I'm
Cry
back.
The only other point I want to make I want you guys' opinion on is how do you guys feel about hyperspace or hyperscape?
Hyperscape.
That's the shooter, right?
Concept.
Yeah.
I've talked about that for a while.
I'm not a fan. It's not my type of game.
I'm not Kai. I'm sorry, but I look at hyperscape and I'm like, I've seen one battle royale. I've seen them all.
That's actually very accurate. That's true. No, if you've seen one, you've seen them all because they're all the same. They're all trying to copy each other.
It looks interesting.
It looks interesting, but
I haven't
But
seen anything
I don't
about it.
I was watching Rain Day. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
The what?
Rain Day. I was watching him play
yeah.
it the other day.
Uh-huh.
And it looks interesting. Like you can, when you die, you like sort of like go back to like sort of the spawn.
yeah,
Or-
you kind
but
of
you can run around it's
help,
weird.
help other players, but they'll
Mhm.
play you get yourself to respawn back in the game.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. It's just, I'm like, it's just. I guess I'm after Overwatch, I was like, I'm done with anything multiplayer focused for us.
Mhm.
I was like,
Yeah, I want to throw out there real quick.
That's
Apollo,
Kai's game.
Apollo Patriot, Runner Studios, Shellback, Black Samurai. Thank you guys for being here. Whoever else is here.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
I opened up another tab to look up Hyperscape right now, and I see that Tommy, the Guinea Pig Collective, the Seventh Rule, Mecha Random, and My Nerdy Home are all live right now. So
Oh,
Yeah, so yeah. Tommy's doing a stream with Stephen Walton. So,
yeah,
and then Mecca's talking about the whole thing that happened yesterday with Twitter being hacked and the Bitcoin thing and
I love
one of the
We
blue
talk to
check
different
marks.
people for different news, so we give them
Yeah.
all.
no, for sure. We're talking games,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw a thank you out there to y'all.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thanks for
Yeah.
stopping by, guys. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Hope we can continue to entertain. I'm
And if
looking
at least it's
through.
not entertaining, we're educational. And if not that, then at least we're humiliating ourselves enough to entertain you.
Okay, Mando. I want to ask you something. I want to this regards to Cyberpunk 2077.
Shoot.
Have you probably taken notice that because Cyberpunk is being at this being the biggest game of the year, the most anticipated game this year? Did you see the competitors, or should I say the copycats?
Yes.
Recently-
in fact, the Tencent Cyberpunk
Tencent
game,
Code Sin, which is
AKA
Oh,
here's a cinematic teaser of our microtransaction store.
God.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I'll watch the game break. Do a video.
I would not be
I
surprised.
covered it and more in my in the most
It's so blatant.
shadows.
I would not be surprised if Tencent was actually making an effort to straight up steal the code of the game and then like put a new coat of paint on it.
I wouldn't be
I would not-
surprised.
Well,
Right.
given that it's pretty much just it's China's government in gaming
How they-
industry, yeah.
Mhm.
Wouldn't be surprised.
They do, like everything.
Speaking
It's a
of,
blatant
speaking
knockoff.
of Tencent,
So, Sony just bought like a bunch of stock in
yep,
Epic,
Sony just
which
bought a bunch of
Tencent
stock in Epic
owned
Games.
part of that,
However,
don't
it's a
they?
very small portion. It's like
Yeah.
it's not even like 15%, whereas Tencent
Tencent has a bigger stock, and
so
Okay.
it's noteworthy, but it's probably just because they they want to have it doesn't surprise me actually, because
no.
Sony has been all the Sony exclusives like Horizon Zero Dawn, what's the Detroit
Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC. Death
Have been
Stranding
coming
is
to
now on
PC.
PC,
through the
Yeah.
Epic Store first.
and
And then
it's
later go to
later, Steam later.
So
Yeah.
like Detroit Become Human and Horizon Zero Dawn came to PC I think sometime last year on the Epic Store, and then through just now came to PC on Steam. So it doesn't surprise me that they're paying them for that. And I'm sure we'll see more games, maybe Ghost of Tsushima in the future. But the it pales in comparison to how much Tencent owns of the company.
People still want Spider-Man to come to PC.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So, I still don't know how I feel about the new Spider-Man.
And I want to play that freaking game.
I have to pull out my copy right now.
So I went to look at the gameplay and stuff of Hyperscape. The UI looks really clean. I know it's still.
It just looks too similar to everything else.
It looks like it's really freeform, like the platforming, and it's kind of just going to come down to how fun it is.
It takes a big emphasis on verticality.
It reminds me of Titanfall with that.
Yeah.
But it looks like it could be fun. I don't know. If I play it and it's a blast, then I want to keep playing it. Because even if it's similar to other stuff, if they do it better, they do it better.
Did they because I was mostly just skipping through the Ubisoft Forward thing whenever it was interested me. So did they say if it was free or do you have to pay for it?
It's free, unlike another vertical-based multiplayer game that EA just pumped out. EA just came out with Rocket Arena, which is $30. But yeah, it's very focused on verticality, and I think it's probably its closest competitor is Apex Legends.
Okay.
Apex is dope.
Yeah, and that's going crossplay this fall.
Oh,
really?
Coming to the Switch. They're working on a mobile version, and it's
going
going
right there.
That reminds me, The Outer Worlds is coming to the Switch as well.
Nice.
So for anyone who hasn't played that game yet,
the good Fallout.
Space Fallout. Come on.
What do you see?
It's Fallout in space.
Proper Fallout 4 sequel. Fallout 3.
It still has that Fallout. It's a really fun game.
They know what they did. They know what they're doing. They do Bethesda better than Bethesda.
Well, it's because this is the original creators of Fallout. These are the guys that made the first 2 Fallout games and then Fallout New Vegas.
Never got into Fallout.
But anyway, so we got we also I think I heard I was reading an article on GameBiz that they were talking about the devs of Half-Life Alyx wanted to make a console Half-Life game / PC one, which is awesome. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. It just means they want to make one, but maybe we'll actually see some more Half-Life games.
So with Half-Life Alyx, I know that's the biggest VR game, and what got the most anticipated VR game this week got what's Steam's VR peripheral? I forgot what it was, but it got because it sold out just because of Half-Life Alyx.
Right.
Well, that's what that's Valve's whole MO always. They wherever the new Half-Life is, the players go.
Oh yeah.
And so
I want a VR just to play it.
You're gonna need this new Steam program to play the new Half-Life. And everyone was like, "What? This is stupid."
And from what we hear, it's
pretty much.
There was a whole sect of people that stopped. They wouldn't play 1.6 Counter-Strike 1.6 because you needed Steam. They're like, no, it's all about 1.5, and they would just stay on the 1.5 update forever, and then everyone else moved on without them. They eventually got Steam, I'm sure, but yeah, people were very resistant.
So who? Okay, so show of hands. Who here plays Red Dead Redemption 2?
I have it. I haven't played it.
You play it online?
I have it. I literally played maybe an hour or 2 of it.
Do you just play single player or do you play online?
I would play online if I had a posse to run with.
Okay. Okay, because I'm on IGN. I can't believe I said that. I'm on IGN and I found this. This. Okay.
Don't forget to share sound.
So, yeah, there seems to be a protest online for the lack of updates in Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Online.
Well, yeah, aren't they? What is it gonna say? Aren't they focusing more on GTA 5 online?
I think they're because I think they're focused. I think what it is updates. Yeah, it seems to be that there haven't been any updates to RDR2 online specifically, and I think the focus is they are focusing on GTA 5.
Of course.
The PS5 and Xbox Series X port, which is rather interesting. It's
why do we need it on like what is it 3 generations right now? This is on 360.
It's one of the most selling games in history.
It's
Red Dead 2?
No, GTA 5.
Oh.
It's still at the top of it still claims the top 5 charts ever since 2013. It's still in the top 5. It's in the UK charts. It's just the online GTA Online has made, Take-Two, Rockstar just more money than even celebrities will probably ever see in their life.
Well, it's the thing that everyone wanted. Like, whenever you play the GTA games, you're like, I wish I could play this online with my friends and we could kill hookers together.
It's not completely true, because the thing is, you notice it's a common theme with Red Dead and GTA 5 is that they have such a strong single player campaign that fans are desperately wanting DLC just for the single player of both games.
They did with the first one. They did the undead.
Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare.
Yeah, Undead Nightmare. Yeah. So I would assume they would do something. Maybe not Undead
Well,
Nightmare.
that's where you made your mistake.
Similar.
Now you've made an ass out of you and me.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very interesting. I gotta say, it's because I know everybody's and I know we're in an interesting time where everybody's getting ready for next gen, while we still have a couple more years of this current gen left.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could wait to start releasing information, but if they do that, people will be like, "Hey, why aren't we hearing about the next gen yet?"
Yeah,
And we just thought we'd wait till just a year before we start releasing. Like, well.
And keep in mind,
that reminds me, just because we haven't heard anything in terms of like Halo Infinite, we haven't seen any gameplay yet.
Right.
Well, we are going to on July 23rd, so next Thursday.
And it's something to keep in mind is that
they're gonna have I think Cyberpunk stuff too, but I think it's mostly gonna be around Halo Infinite. And then
I heard that there won't be a demo for Cyberpunk.
So there won't be?
There won't be. No.
Okay.
So you but I think considering the hype and considering what we've been seeing so far, I don't think a demo is going to be necessary.
I am looking forward to the next episode of Night City Wire, because there's only 2 episodes left before launch. So.
Right. Is it going to be? Are they doing it like once a month, or are they doing it?
I don't know. That's why, because you'd think, but then if there's 3 and the game doesn't come out until November.
No. We have a long way off. We're still in July. So
maybe they're doing it like every few months. So
still got 4 months to go.
And then before the game launches is what I'm imagining.
Yes, guys, everything down.
Did we talk about last week? Did we talk about the whole 2K raising the prices for 2K21?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we talked about the next gen prices and price inflation, and yeah, we got it.
and if I want to add on to that, there's a video by a YouTuber Opavend that goes over this whole how stupid it is with the price hike. If I can, I don't know. I probably wouldn't watch it now, but I would definitely. I'll see if I can put it in the link in the chat. But yeah, it's a great video. I think everybody should really, really watch because it feels like you're essentially paying more for incompetence. That's not the best way to describe it.
Yeah, this is why I have the image here.
What do you mean?
So,
Put in the chat.
What do you mean pay more for incompetence?
is it the season pass that you get with
It's
the?
the season
Is
pass
that what
with-
the
and it's a lot of it is just that what we've been seeing this generation is going to go over to the next generation, and it feels like it's going to be more the same, except we're charging more for it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel like they're releasing incomplete games and stuff.
Uh-huh. And normally I would say that you guys kind of bad taste, poor taste, but capitalize on Kobe Bryant's death, but still, I think that's what people, and then again, I think that's what people want, so it's just...
There's no, honestly, I don't think there's a way around that, unfortunately.
There's no way around it.
Yeah.
No, and I think what we're seeing with this generation, next generation, is just
Stadia is listed.
They just had. I think they had their own like stream, or they had their own kind of event. So and it seems that there's a kind of a slow. People are slowly increasing interest in Stadia, but I think
Stadia is the technology is still like 10 years
No,
old.
the technology. Yeah, you guys are too early. You guys are way too early. Technology isn't even ready for that yet.
Although I will
You're
say,
not even-
I'm still surprised that Stadia is even a thing because
Stadia, yeah.
give it a few more months and then Google will abandon it like everything else.
Yeah, and it leaves interest. It leaves me. It's kind of an interesting connect. There's definitely a connection with this, and the next console, Series X and the PS5. They're having, digital only versions.
Right. Let me see if I can find an image of that real quick. But the console has no optical drive.
Yeah,
Where you slot it in.
and Sony is in a little bit of a kerfuffle recently, because rumors, there have been word that's going out that some of the digital licenses, some users have reported that they can't access some of their digital games anymore.
Yep.
Because of the licenses expired or something like that.
Yeah, Tommy was talking to me about that
And
with
I-
Xbox stuff.
Right, and I heard that from Beller News, and when I heard that, I immediately turned on both my PS3 and PS4, and I'm happy to know that all of my digital games are still here. So I haven't lost anything. It's just... It's...
It really gets weird when like companies go under and then they get bought out. Like when THQ went down, Space Marines like DLC was like
lost.
Couldn't really. Yeah, it was lost in the shuffle, and then eventually it came back, but still.
Right. And my thing is, I wouldn't think that would be a problem because whenever you digitally download games or download content, it's sent directly to your hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
That way you don't unless you delete it yourself.
You should get a copy of your digital purchases. It shouldn't just be in the cloud. It should be accessible in the cloud, but you should get a copy of it.
Yeah,
I think it should be a standard practice because you're purchasing something.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Who was the actor that made a big fuss about Apple? How he's like, I bought these freaking songs. They should be mine. Like, what the hell is this in the terms of service?
Well, the thing is, I continuously buy music off iTunes.
How do you think I feel with Microsoft Music?
I haven't bought.
I lost all those.
Here's the thing.
All that
Here's the
songs.
thing.
I haven't bought music in years.
Right, and the
I
thing
still
is,
have all my cassettes.
the thing is, I buy music all the time from iTunes, and I know exactly where it is because I have a huge music folder with all of my songs and everything. So I know exactly where it is, and I can always transport it over to always put it on my hard drive. So I always have files ready. So I'm glad that people still do that. But whenever you transfer over to a new PC, you may have to restore the licenses though. But
yeah, and while we're on the topic of this whole thing, like with DRMs and games, like, you don't own your games anymore if you buy digital. You license it. And here's the thing with Xbox One, I can't say the same for PS4, but I have an Xbox One, and I know that if you buy a disc, you're pretty much just buying half the game, and then you have to download the rest of it, which takes hours. At least for
it does.
Hours.
Especially for the Master Chief Collection. That's
that I got digitally just because it was. I got it at the time. I got it like.
It takes. It depends on how big the games is. Like the biggest.
That's why a lot of. Go ahead.
I think the biggest game I have in my Xbox One is Forza Horizon 4. That's and I'm referring to digital downloaders.
Mm-hmm. That's why I try to if I buy it digitally, I try to also get the physical later at a later date.
Exactly.
But at a cheaper price. So
that's not a bad idea at all.
Just get like a used.
No, I want to bring it back to games though. When we're talking about the Stadia and stuff. I was thinking about because you said that's not, it's too early for that, which you're right. It's like maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say 10, maybe 5 years away for sure.
At least.
5 years away is definitely 10 years,
The problem is because it all results on how good your internet is, which can vary from one moment to another. And as we saw with a lot of people who had like some of the best internet connections when they showed off Stadia for the first time, like they'd press spacebar and then you'd wait like a full 5 seconds.
It's input. It's that input latency that's such a big issue with stuff like Stadia. It's that input.
And now it's
latency.
with Destiny, I believe the guy was playing. So Destiny 2, I believe. So and that's an FPS. That latency is not a good thing to have in an FPS.
No, it's not at all.
In pretty much any game.
Imagine Tommy trying to play something
turn-based.
Tommy with his bad internet. Imagine him trying to play a game.
I agree. Like, if you want to,
don't try to make me laugh.
Well, but here. So we were saying that the next generation is like maybe 2 years away of next generation of game consoles, and so they're going to be around for 6 to 8 years, right? So that kind of lines up with that timeline. They fall within the same region. So I think Google is trying to work out the kinks, to see what they need, what what works, what doesn't work, and improve upon that, because it's going to take time. They're not just going to, the first version of that tech isn't going to work overnight. So I think they're just working it out while the internet connections get there. But even then, the whole selling point of we're bringing gaming to everyone, so that then if you don't have these expensive consoles, you can use our service, which requires expensive internet, which means you probably have an expensive console. So it's a BS. It's just as
gimmick.
Good while trying. Yeah, it's a gimmick. It's a total gimmick.
I guess for anybody. Sorry, go ahead.
Google is got into gaming for the same reason that Amazon did with their Crucible thing. Not for games, not for delivering entertainment and escapism and art, which is video game, and then as a short sentence. But they just wanted to do it for that. They both try to do this streaming thing because that's what they do with with their media, with their movies and everything. So they figured that it would work that way, but clearly did not.
Well, I like that Amazon at least innovates with their streaming platform. They're not just like, here's another streaming platform.
Yeah, but the thing is, Amazon, their game studios, they need to step it up, because they have not had some. They've had some really suckers. You know what I mean?
I will say this though about Amazon. You're absolutely right that their streaming service, they definitely improve it. But also, I think what's different with Amazon compared to others is Amazon. If you have, say, Amazon Prime for the instant video, we call it, it's called Prime Video, right?
Yeah.
The streaming service.
Mhm.
You also get Prime shipping, which is huge
Yep.
when you're shopping at Amazon. So they have that over pretty much everyone else.
Yeah.
You also get Twitch Prime as well with it.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I have all of those because of that. But
Yeah.
I like that Amazon, at least they're like, you can see what you're like, what actor is this, and you can move the mouse and or like,
Yeah.
Really are, so you can find all their
it gives
stuff.
you facts
I
and,
will.
like,
I will say this.
nice.
This has nothing to do with Amazon, but I am pretty pissed that on July 1st they got rid of Magnum PI from Amazon.
Well, there's
Oh, Batman Beyond
there's
was on
a
Amazon?
Tom Selleck Magnum PI was on Amazon. I was watching it, and then July 1st they got rid of it. It's still
Oh,
there.
Magnum
It's
PI.
It's still there, but it's no longer Amazon Prime. So
yeah,
I
there's
thought you said what's it called, Batman Beyond. I was like,
no,
Magnum PI is
no.
also there, but it's not on Amazon Prime. You have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I
lame.
think I have one episode.
For I guess for anybody who's interested, so they did this Stadia Connect, which was on the 14th, so about 2 days ago, like on Monday, Tuesday. But the games that are coming out are, oh no, I don't have it up.
Oh, you don't have it up? Okay.
Oh, actually, I do. Never mind. Okay, I guess I'll put it on there. So let me share my screen. Okay. So we got One Hand Clapping, which is available now at Orcs Must Die 3. Season 8 of PUBG, which is at the end of this month. Elder Scrolls Online, Stonehorn, which is in August 24th. Dead by Daylight, September. Hello Neighbor, September. Super Bomberman R Online in the fall. Sekiro is coming in the fall. Hello Neighbor in the holiday. And then next year we got Hitman 3, we have Outriders, and we have Serious Sam 4 coming soon. So
You guys a fan of the Hitman, the new Hitman series?
I've heard nothing but
16?
great things about it. I mean, nothing but great things about the new Hitman.
Because I actually played. I have Hitman 2016 on my Xbox One, and I love it.
Hitman 2 was the last one I played.
Yeah,
Which one? The new one or the old one?
The old one.
Yeah.
no one.
But the newer ones are pretty fun.
played.
Like, it's all about learning, what's face patterns, and then plus it's also pretty self-aware with times. Like Hitman 2 had a bug when it first launched where if you threw a briefcase at someone, it would go around the corner. Like if say they're walking past the door and you aim and throw it at them while they're walking past the door, and they pass the doorway as the briefcase is mid-throw, it'll go around the corner of the doorway and hit them. And they actually turned this into they fixed it, but then turned it into a new item that you can acquire by doing this challenge, so that you can acquire the homing briefcase, which will go around corners.
It's funny.
Oh, I want to bring. Okay, so Angelus, was it you who said you liked Assassin's Creed Black Flag, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
you
like my
like the ship battles, right?
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
Now you heard about Skull and Bones, right?
Oh yeah, the development hell game.
Okay, so Skull and Bones, what they're planning to do is that they're basically taking Ubisoft. They're essentially taking the ship combat from Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and they're making it its own multiplayer style sailing game, and it's been in development hell for a while. Well, it was the two games that didn't show up in the Ubisoft Forward that I think people were looking forward to was Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Skull and Bones. And we have an update for Skull and Bones, and if you're interested, you may not be interested anymore.
Oh.
Let me see the screen again. All right. Skull and Bones development rebooted for a Fortnite-style live gaming model. So Ubisoft Singapore, Skull and Bones reported rebooted, now focusing on a Fortnite-style live service.
For anyone who's curious, that noise was me banging my head against my keyboard.
So we're basically World of Tanks, but with pirate ships.
Yeah, so VGC reports that according to development, speaking under conditionality, the game is struggling to stand out among Ubisoft's portfolio of open world games, which include Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, and Division. And during the Ubisoft 4 presentation, we saw open world with Far Cry 6, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Watch Dogs Legion. The game was reportedly, in VGC's words, a premium box model, like Ubisoft's other open world games. However, the game was rebooted last year, is moving away from that model. Now the game is moving towards a live gaming model, which is games as a service. This means a game that will change over time with updates, including shaped actions made by players. One anonymous source of VGC was that the social impact in live storytelling of Fortnite was a strong inspiration behind the game's change of focus. This new Skull and Bones is going to focus more on players working together, with Ubisoft wanting to appeal to audience beyond competitive action games. The game's development staff has many changes as well, from the creative director, Justin Farron, leaving, and former VP, Elizabeth Perlin, director of 13, and Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. So, yeah, Ubisoft recorded decline on DGC story, but yeah, that's what the rumor is. Skull and Bones is going for Fortnite-style games as a service.
Because games as a service never go wrong.
And this is from Niche Gamer, by the way.
Hey, Culture, how's it going?
Hey.
Hey, Culture. But yeah,
a little snap to in the beginning, but we're good.
So I guess because we elaborated on it last week about everything going into the games as a service model, and what do you guys see kind of in the future with this? Is we're seeing more and more titles.
I think people are going to get wise, and we're probably going to get old style games back,
because
people are going to see, hey, how come all these games like Spider-Man PS4, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Cyberpunk 2077, The Outer Worlds, all these games that follow the more, early to mid to late naughty style of gaming, right? Naughty to 2000s for anyone who doesn't know. And they're the best-selling games of every year. They're doing the best, they sell the best, they make the most money, and then people are going to realize, wait, why are we doing all this effort to make these like live service things, and we can just go back to that? And
it's interesting. I think as we're moving towards more the games as a service, the live service, kind of model we're seeing, and especially in the AAA, especially in the AAA sector. You may see the decline of, innovation. Games are just trying to be, more innovative, trying new things out and such. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this kind of adds on to another article I want to bring up. This is from Niche Gamer. Guess I'll catch y'all next. Love you, Culture. This one adds on to another thing, because I know I'm probably the only person who played Spider-Man PS4, and I absolutely love it.
No, I played the crap out of that.
I didn't get to because I don't own it, but my buddy does, so I played it over there.
So we know, and I'm going to share the screen right now.
I like how I'm the diehard Spider-Man fan. I haven't played it yet.
I love it. I absolutely love that game to death. This is in some ways, this is even better than Arkham game in some aspects.
I was actually going to bring this up about the Marvel's Avengers. So I covered this in a live stream recently when this was live. I covered it live. And it's a game. So the game is a live service. They announced that when they announced the game.
Sorry, go ahead.
And so it's a live service, and they did say I don't remember. I think they said there's no loot boxes, but there will be microtransactions, and there will be DLC, and they plan on supporting it for 10 years. And
you know what? It's
all the same stuff we've heard before.
Now that I've
seen some gameplay, it doesn't look very promising.
And Mando, what can you name me two games that we have heard them saying that we want to be a journey?
That will what?
That they wanted, the developers stated that they want this game to be a 10-year journey. Can you name me two games?
Anthem is one.
Anthem, and what else?
And Fallout 76.
Pretty much every EA game.
I was gonna say.
What do you mean?
Wait, hold on a second. I was gonna say Destiny.
Oh, Destiny, yeah.
2. And when you
Destiny.
look at Avengers, and I'm thinking the whole multiple aspect that this is basically Destiny with another Destiny title, and
Destiny specifically. Remember, it wasn't the first Destiny; it's the second one.
Yeah, and it's
Makini, what do you mean a 10-year journey?
So support the game for 10 years and all that. Even
they
though
hyped it up. Yeah, when Destiny, I think it was during Destiny 2 and Anthem and Fallout 76, and say that they hyped it that they wanted, and they wanted to do a make it a 10-year journey, as in they want it to be a live service game that lasts for 10 years with constant updates.
Yeah, and they did that for I think Battlefield.
Oh, I see.
And Battlefield 5 as well, where it's such a bullshit thing because they say that, and then it's like, but we know like for example, Call of Duty, right? Like they say, like I think one of the Call of Duty games they said that as well, and like you're literally having a new one come out next year. Everyone's gonna ignore the old one by that time.
Yeah.
I think we.
That's not true.
In a way, Battlefield crashed and burned like the Hindenburg disaster. Just.
Oh my god, Battlefield 5! I can make an entire 3-hour video on Battlefield 5. Don't get me started. But
okay. Anyway, let me.
Avengers thing.
Okay, yeah. Let me go into the if you want me to go into. So, Avengers will have the next pre-war table is going to be July 29th, the end of this month, and the betas are going to start on August 7th, 14th, and 21st. So I'll go ahead and read this. This is from Niche Gamer. This is from IGN. Square Enix has announced the date of Avengers Next War Table. Also seen above image, the game will have 3 betas. The first beta will take place on August 7th for those who pre-ordered on PS4, August 14th for those on PC, and August 14th on Xbox One. August 14th will be the PlayStation Open Beta begins. The final beta will be on August 21st on all platforms. Next, the second War Table presentation will happen July 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific, and this will focus on what players will experience in the beta. Creative director Sean Escalig via IGN. Campaign content, co-op missions, hero progression, and exploration in Warzone and drop zones. The details on the drop zone missions will be explained in the War Table as well. Escalig further explained how the beta will give taste of everything this game has to offer. We built the beta in such a way that you can experience most of the things that you'll be doing in the full game. That means playing a piece of the original single-player Avengers story campaign, fighting through co-op missions, experiencing hero and world progression, and exploring war zones via drop zones. This new kind of mission we'll talk about the upcoming War Table on July 29th. The beta is meaty, but it's only a small part of the finished game. In case you missed it, the prior War Table Christian Fight Dynamics revealed AIM and MODOK as one of the game's villains, and also more about the game's story with co-op war zones and more. So, but yeah, it's coming. It's coming in holiday, but the betas are going to be starting on August 17th, 14th, and 21st. The first beta, if you pre-order on PS4, and then PC, and then Xbox One, respectively. So,
All right.
So, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
I mean,
I'll give it a try.
I knew that the PS4 was going to get special treatment with this game because they actually announced that in E3 2018, 19, whichever one they had. They actually showed off gameplay for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a game that I've already kind of written off because of the story. For anyone who doesn't know, in New York Comic Con 2019. They revealed a trailer for the game, which was the story trailer, which showcased the main playable and main narrative protagonists, Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, I know. I'm not looking forward to that. She looks goofy.
And I don't look. I might be alone in this, but I mean, her powers are so weird and stupid.
She's a goofy character to begin with.
I'm coming from a guy who loves Mr. Fantastic, so because she's pretty much it's like Mr. Fantastic light, but not even because
can't we just get Mr. Fantastic?
You can turn something into a wheel. You can make himself into essentially like a magic carpet. I mean,
Here's my thing. Why I'm disinterested in this, mainly because one, it's not going to be single player focused like Spider-Man was, all despite the fact that it's set in the same universe.
is it?
It's Spider-Man PS4. That's what they're saying. Yeah, it's going to be set in the same universe.
I'm still waiting on confirmation for that. So.
Yeah, and secondly, story-wise, I'm kind of interested in the idea of seeing an incident where the Avengers end up being disbanded.
Mhm.
I'm just not a fan of.
It's a very played out story.
Yeah, and personally, I'm not a fan of the main character of the whole story being Kamala Khan. And because I've been following, you boy Zach, Comics
She's
Matter.
the main protagonist.
Yeah,
Playable
she's
and story.
going to be kind of the main focus and the one to kind of bring the Avengers back together. And I'm just not a fan of that character.
But she's the best ever.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, and
we all know why. It's because
I know why, but
it's because they want to promote this character that no one knows or cares or likes,
mhm.
and she can't stand on her own. So another person.
so when the game fails and gets criticized, then
And
I don't
then-
think a game's gonna fail, but I don't
yeah.
think it's gonna be as good as them going for more of a, I guess you could say, more of a Destiny kind of style game model, or just kind of
Not
the way they
like
kind of
that.
handle it. I'm not interested.
I'm not interested.
The whole,
Major turnoff for me.
yeah, because you know what they're saying, like the drop zones, which will probably be
Like and the loot
raids.
system and everything.
Yeah, loot based.
This is not what I like. I wanted like a spider because here's the thing. I don't know if you guys ever played the original Marvel Ultimate Alliance games from the
Oh yeah.
from the mid 2000s. I always wanted that type of game.
You know, the thing is, we got that with Ultimate
With the
Alliance
cu-
3.
With the customization and the character progression in terms of like, oh, I can get this ability and that ability, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But in a third-person action style, like a traditional Spider-Man game, like the Spider-Man PS4. Like imagine a four-person split-screen like Marvel title like that.
Yeah.
Where, you have one guy playing as Spider-Man, one guy playing as Iron Man, one guy playing as Cap, one guy playing as Wolverine, one guy playing as Black Panther. And then, or if you have an online one, you can have like up to 6 people, right?
Mhm.
Just because this way, it's kind of like the active roster of Avengers. In the comics, it was always 6. So
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's
I actually feel like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was kind of a downgrade from 2, to be honest.
it was from what I've seen.
Yeah,
Okay.
I own it. It is.
It's also not in the same.
It's very dubbed down.
I didn't play it. I just saw like the second I saw like the first cinematics and gameplay footage. I'm just like, this is worse than 2.
The visual, basically because it's on Nintendo, they made it.
And I'm not.
The art
I'm
style
not
very
being visual,
cartoony.
but I understand it.
well,
Yeah.
and also it's Tecmo, Koei Tecmo, the team behind Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden, so they kind of is that. So, and that's one thing I noticed. I hate
Yeah.
checking it.
2, like,
Call it
the
a
characters
sequel?
look really good, and then in
Yeah.
this one, they're not
It's
as
weird
good.
to call it a sequel though, and then all the characters are. For example, in Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, Nick Fury is white.
Mhm.
Now he's black.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny thing. It's kind of a micro. It's kind of funny. You bring up kind of the style
But
Ultimate
he's
Alliance
junior,
3.
because they're
3, and I think in regards to Marvel Avengers, I think that was one thing that kind of turned me off a little bit, was that I do not like how the Avengers look
Mhm.
and some of the characters, especially do you guys remember the first
Oh yeah.
you
At
guys
least
remember the
Black
first
Widow
trailers when
looks
they
a
showed
lot
Black
better than
Widow?
she did.
Yeah.
She looks a lot better than she did.
Yeah.
Well, I like that it started off with her just being kind of a more like a normal agent, and then she had to tech up because of the shit that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
works.
She looked like a dude at first.
It was
Her outfit.
No,
No,
her
her
like
face.
Her
face,
face.
like the model,
You mean,
like
oh,
modeling for her
and
face.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
the,
bad.
the,
Face,
the game
what the
model.
The face was not very flattering.
it was not
Or
flattering.
the place is not very flattering, but
Let me see.
started
That was kind of the first. That was kind of one of the. That was during the first The
Was
first
it?
gameplay. This was last year during an
I personally don't really care how the characters look. Here, she looks
don't-
fine here.
She looks fine there.
I feel like there's two.
But like
I
the one
personally
where they're
don't
all
care.
together
I'm
and
more-
they're standing,
I'm more
she
concerned
looked
about
terrible.
the story and the gameplay because you can.
Yeah, you look at Hulk and it's just like I don't see Hulk. I don't see like. I don't know. It's just something about the faces on everybody. It doesn't look as heroic. It's that heroic kind of. I think they should have adapted more from the MCU because I feel like that was probably the best.
The comics, honestly.
Yeah.
Or
Even
even
comics from-
previous game models,
Mhm.
use previous game models and then touch it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can customize you can customize the skins of the character, so that's not a really big issue.
Yeah, it's
Bigger
not.
issue
That's
is
who I want to
gameplay.
play
Like,
as.
Hulk's
Hulk.
gameplay looks fine for the most part.
Thor's is interesting. It's definitely interesting. It's
Thor
interesting.
and Iron Man
So I think that
clunky.
the character models will probably look better by the time the game comes out.
Yeah, I do think so.
I think it might be like significantly better because just looking at the environments and all that stuff, this is all really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely fantastic what they did with San Francisco. I think it's great.
Yeah,
It's
they've got a lot going on. And so when you're in development like that, you go, okay, we just need something we can put in the game right now so we can test it and stuff.
Right.
And we'll work on it over time.
Yeah.
And then we need you to do other stuff, And
Yeah.
so as they're doing all this, rolling all this out, they're gradually making things better where they need polishing because they start to stand out. You go, oh, this looks really nice now. Oh, whoa. Oh, wow. I was proud of that before. Now it looks like crap next to all this other
Yeah, I think about
Yeah.
and like I said, bring up my ultimate thing is with Avengers. I'm not interested because it's not just because it's not going to be the single player focused game like Spider-Man was, and just story wise, I'm just not
And that's
a
not
fan
your
of
cup of
Kamala
tea.
Khan being the main central focus because I just don't think she's that good of a character.
Well, you
Uh,
can play this solo, right? You can play the
You
story
can still
solo.
play it solo, but I would
there's
like
a
it for
solo
it to be.
campaign, and then there's the co-op campaign. And
Okay.
Yeah, it's just too
the co-op
Destiny.
one
I'm not,
is
and
like
I guess you say I've kind of grown out, or I've kind of just not interested in anything that's loot based. It's a kind of warning flag for me. I'm just
As long as it's cosmetic stuff and not like game changing, like
we don't know
I'm
that
alright
yet.
with it.
we don't know that yet.
I
but-
think I can confirm
We
that.
still need to have that.
Some skins that you want, like, oh, you really want this, say, the Silver Sun Champion armor for Iron Man? You have to pay us for $20. I'm just using a random number.
Then
but-
I'm just not gonna pay them money
Yeah.
for it.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, Cass said.
Right here, take this for instance. Let me find a decent image of it though.
Sure.
The DLC, not DLC. If you pre-order the game, you get exclusive skins that you wouldn't get otherwise.
Okay.
Here.
Let's see if I can find
See
it.
this? Okay.
I might
so-
be able to find it
Let's
too.
screen
Let me
share
see
this.
it again.
So if you pre-order, you get these like legacy skins, as they're calling them.
Interesting.
That looks so out of place there.
She does. She looks out of place in general.
Who is this? Oh, that's Captain America's old.
Like they could have had like Wasp or like
It's this universe's version, I guess, of like Captain America's World War II outfit.
yeah, they could have had like Wasp or like Ant-Man or like anybody that like was
I like
a founding member.
Here you go. Here you go.
I
It's
like
the full video of
So part of it's over here, part of it's over here.
So
That's-
here it is.
Yeah. So can I say something? That armor they just showed off.
Yeah.
It was the Bleeding Edge armor. It
Yeah.
looked nothing like the Bleeding Edge armor. And it's hilarious because during the War Table live stream, they showed the cover art with the Bleeding Edge armor on it, like a famous cover art, and then they showed that armor next to it, and it's like those aren't the same armor. Those aren't the same.
Journeyman 3.
So,
Well, they might not be able to do it exactly
Yeah.
the
It's
same.
from Iron Man.
like those aren't the same armors.
Let me see.
No.
It's just yeah, just I guess the loot based kind of progression is kind of
Also, a lot of the skins are just recolors.
Also, I'm not a fan of the character model. I think the character models just needs a little bit more polish.
That one looks
that
nice.
skin looks
That
good.
one-
Yeah, the Planet Hulk is dope.
Some of them look really good,
Yeah,
but they need to have given the economic model that they're choosing, they need to have a lot of stuff available upon release
mhm.
to make it viable. Because you can't have transactions without anything for people.
Yeah. And I felt like, for me, Spider-Man did it. Spider-Man did it incredibly well. And it'll be
Spider-Man
interesting
did
how
really well.
the freaking post-launch contract.
Weren't they all free anyway?
Yeah. It's a lot of it within each of the
DLCs?
three DLCs.
No,
Yeah,
they were not
unlocked.
free.
No. I mean the skins. A lot of the skins weren't they
Oh,
free?
in Spider-Man, yeah, you.
In
earned
Spider-Man, yeah, you definitely had to unlock
You
meet
unlock
certain
them,
objectives to
yeah.
unlock some of them.
Yeah.
And especially the ones in the DLC missions, and we got a couple of free ones, such as the ones for Far From Home.
Sam Raimi suit.
And then Sam, that was the one that everybody lost their freaking minds. They finally bought
Because everyone wanted it. Because it's the best
It's the
movie
Maguire
period.
suit.
Down, no question about it.
Everybody wanted that Tobey Maguire suit, and I love it. It looks so well done.
They did such a good
One
job.
of my favorite skins from the Spider-Man PlayStation game was the Fantastic Four one.
I was just gonna mention that.
Paper bag.
paper
I love
bag.
that. Yeah, the
The bag, the paper bag.
Yep.
I love the
Well, no,
Feature
no,
Foundation.
The PS4 game, they screwed up that suit because it's
Oh, did
missing
they?
one important feature.
Hmm.
The kick
What's
me
that?
sign on the back.
The what?
Oh, okay.
The kick me sign.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't have the kick me sign on the back. No. One
That being
thing.
said, though, it was a really good looking Fantastic Four.
Right.
Did Johnny Blaze do that to him?
Yes. Not Johnny Blaze, Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm, sorry.
He was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
what a-
That's-
You know, and
Yeah,
the
Johnny
thing I loved about Spider-Man PS4 was that not only did they bring in so many skins from all over.
Movies
And I love the fact that they also added original. They had their own original designs. Like I freaking love the Velocity skin. I love the base PS4. The new skin, the new suit that he gets on, the advanced suit. Yeah, I love the advanced suit. I love the Velocity suit. I love the suit he has in the final battle with Doc Ock, because that just looks absolutely dope.
I'm not a fan of those. I'm more old.
I like
I like the classic red and blues.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they went out their way to do original. To actually put in original.
Oh no, yeah, you're absolutely
Nice.
right. It's nice that they did that, and I love that when they do that. It's just I'm saying I just prefer the classic red and blues. So,
Mhm.
Molly grabs. I wish they put in the '90s cartoon.
and I love they put the Scarlet Spider suit. They actually
Oh,
put
yeah.
both in, but they put
both in. Both Ben Reilly and Kane Parker's suit.
I like the Ghost Spider. I like that suit.
Which
The
one?
flaming head. The flaming head.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
the
the
Ghost
Flaming
Rider.
Yeah, the Ghost Rider one. That's awesome.
Ghost Spider.
I was like, I
Mhm.
really want to know about that one too.
That's dope. I don't think I've seen that one.
I've never seen that.
I'm gonna
Have you
go.
guys see do you guys know the Ben Reilly Spider-Man suit? It's when
Yeah,
Ben
with the
Reilly
blue
is Spider-Man,
torn
different suit.
t-shirt or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's iconic.
It's
It's
a
very
it's an
different.
iconic, yeah. And so I would love to see that suit in a sequel game because it's actually a really nice looking one. Yeah.
Right. And oh man.
Oh man, Ghost Spider looks dope.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Wait, now, speaking of which, I guess we're on the topic of Spider-Man. So, how do you guys feel about Miles Morales, the next game?
Don't care for it.
Don't care for it, guys.
I like Miles. As long
I do
as they
too.
put the,
I don't.
Although I think he's too much, as what Eric July, Ripper would say, he's too much of a tokenized Peter.
Yeah.
Even if he wasn't, His entire existence revolves around having Peter Parker get killed off so he can replace him.
Yeah, that might
He
be
was done
the ultimate in the ultimate
fairly-
comics.
Well,
hell yeah.
that's in the movie.
He
And
was
it's in
done
movies,
fairly well in
comics,
the
it's
game.
the same in both.
Oh, it's
Yeah. That's
All
one of
right,
my biggest fears with Miles Morales title is that Peter's going to be killed off, or is
See,
So
I've been
there's-
hearing that it's like a DLC
that's what
standalone.
it seems like. Yeah, it seems like a
I
deal.
don't like. People keep complaining about it, like, "Oh, it's a DLC, or not a DLC. It's a standalone game. Who cares?
Hmm
It's new
Mhm.
content." And
Yeah.
the only thing is, if it's DLC, how much are they charging for it? Versus
Man.
if it's actually, I think it is a game though, because they actually made a cover art. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up here.
Yeah, I've seen the.
You know what?
Isn't
One of the only times that I'm gonna say that like they should have hired like maybe should have considered hiring as an Afro Latino to voice Miles Morales
Yeah.
specifically is because the person who voices him, I love that voice actor, like he's great, but
Mhm.
I don't like his Spanish. It sounds like someone who did not grow up, so he's someone who learned to say these words,
Mhm.
you know, and it
Well,
stands out to me a lot.
So,
So, but yeah, otherwise, he's great.
it
Mando.
seems like it's going to be a separate disc, and
Yeah, but I mean, it's sort of like in the vein of like the Destiny DLC, where it was like it has its own like disc, but yeah,
okay.
you know what I mean.
Mando. Who was it? Did you see the
I
teaser
love his suit.
for Infinite on Xbox's Twitter?
I
Does
haven't.
what? Sorry.
Halo Infinite.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I have it here. Hold on. let me-
Okay, yeah, because I was just looking
Yeah,
it up right
of
now.
course I have it ready. What are you kidding?
Because it said the release date's going to be November 7th. Wait, hold on a second. What?
There is no release date yet. It's just
Oh, let's see. Okay, because they're
remember it's launching with the Xbox Series X. So,
okay, yeah. Because I'm looking at gamers right. They were saying the game getting released date November 7th. I was like, yeah, you're like 2 weeks before Cyberpunk.
no.
Oh,
That's I think you're confusing it with What's Your Face.
I love Into the Spider-Verse. I absolutely loved it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, I will rewatch it every once in a while. I just put it on in the background because it's so much fun.
But anyway, you were saying about Infinite, so
Yeah, so Infinite, they're gonna have a thing on July 23rd for it, and
Mhm.
they just made this today. I guess hyping it up.
yeah.
But we actually had, so I think as they've been releasing the Halo games on the Master Chief Collection for PC, I believe that's kind of their marketing campaign as well, because after each release, they have these little like in-universe videos
Mm-hmm.
of like an Oni agent describing the events of the game, and then after he describes the events of the game, he's talking to someone about more modern events, which usually which might hint to Halo Infinite. So they've been doing a lot of that recently, and the Halo 3 one, I think, is in reference to the Banished teaser they did a few weeks ago, where they
Okay.
confirmed that the Banished are going to be in Halo Infinite, and so I guess they're starting their marketing campaign. I guess has started now. So
Okay. So, let me ask you this, Mando. And I mentioned before that I've never been familiar with the Halo series, or I've seen some of the cutscenes of Halo. I've seen like all the cutscenes of Halo 4 and some of the couple games, but
you'd probably be better off just watching the cutscenes of Halo 2.
yeah.
Halo 3.
And I saw Halo 5. I saw the cutscenes of Halo 5, and it was just kind of awkward.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was just weird. It was just weird
I
with the
would
game
just
with
say one
Cortana.
thing
It was
about
just
Halo
like,
5.
yeah. No, okay.
The Master Chief
so-
is at least a foot taller than a Spartan 4.
Okay. Okay. So I want to ask you this: the hype surrounding Infinite, do you think it'll be as big as when Halo 2 and Halo 3 were released? Do you think the hype will be as big as compared to those?
I don't know, because
Because
I think so. It's going to be similar but different.
Because keep in mind,
but different.
Yeah, because keep in mind, like, the hype for Halo 3 back in, I think it was, 2003?
That would be that would be 2. Halo
2002, it was through the roof.
Yes.
It was through the roof. I remember watching X-Play, and it was just all the big talk was about Halo 2, and the same thing went for Halo 3.
Yeah.
So,
well, here's the thing: Halo Infinite is a spiritual reboot of the Halo franchise, because 3 screwed it up. Halo 4 and Halo 5 were pretty much not really Halo in terms of art style and in terms of some of the gameplay. So they're bringing it back to basics, back to like Halo CE, where and aesthetically, they're definitely listening to the fans and listening to feedback, where they're bringing the old art style back, as you can see here in this little teaser. And we've seen it already in some of the trailers, and even toys. But the question is, we know the story is probably going to be decent at best, right, or at worst maybe. But the question is, what's the gameplay like? Because we still haven't seen any gameplay, and a lot of people are optimistically skeptical about the game in the Halo community. We're all very we're excited, we're happy, they're listening to us, everything looks like it's going to be great, but we're still skeptical because
because of 343's
343's track record. So yeah, but I mean, so far they're trying really hard to.
Yeah, he definitely is trying to get back on the good grace and trying to really feel. It feels like they're definitely just trying to start over, doing it right.
They're trying to mimic Halo CE's launch with they got Shadows of Reach is launching in November, just before the game comes out, just like Halo the Fall of Reach did to Halo CE. You got the cover art even mimicking the original book cover art, and
I want to show you one thing. Share my screen. I'll share the audio. I found this because I was looking it up, and it just made me think of what you were saying. So let me get this going here. All right.
Video games finally goes on sale.
Preparing to rewrite retail history.
Video game is expected to have bigger first-day revenue than any movie has ever had an opening day at the box office.
Biggest retail launch in entertainment history.
Dozens of grown men, probably about 3 women, have crawled out of their parents' basement tonight to be first in line to buy the new video game Halo 2. Video gamers.
Yeah, the naughtiest word, the golden age of gaming.
That release of a game called Halo 2.
Xbox 360 days, where I'd say the Silver Age. Now the Bronze Age.
Game entertainment history.
That game carried the Xbox into being a successful platform.
Yeah, Halo made the Xbox. So
yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because I wonder if are we going to get that same kind of hype that our same games get that same kind of excitement.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think because I'm saying a lot of us in the Halo community are very optimistically skeptical. We're looking forward to it. We're happy everyone's that 343 is listening to us and actually changing it and making Halo making Halo again. But we need to see more than we actually need to see a lot of it before.
Right. Hype is it's hard to compare. You can't always compare two situations as being exactly the same.
Right.
It's been a while. The Halo community wants more, but that back then Halo 1 was fresh. That was the new. You could ride in the vehicles and it felt really cool and all kinds of stuff. And so when the second one was coming out, people were stoked.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's going to be different from the game that's already been around for a while, had a couple iterations the community wasn't happy with. And then, so if they knock it out of the park with this one, I think the next one we might see some real hype for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's something to keep in mind. That was back during the 6th generation. where everybody was firing on all cylinders. It wasn't as advanced. Its technology wasn't as advanced as it is nowadays. But yeah.
But yeah, like this is the cinematics that Blur did for the anniversary edition, and it's just like
I remember. I remember the Master Chief Collection came out. It was sort with so many like bugs and issues.
Oh yeah.
Please.
But here's the thing: if you were playing the campaigns just on your own, it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was the online player aspect that had all the issues. But I think they fixed it at this point. Really, they did a really good job. They came through. They fixed it. It was all free. So. And yeah, it's nice to see that they actually are listening to the fans.
Right.
Like they're actually listening to us. Like we complain about the art style, they're changing it back to what it was because they drastically changed it. Chief, he's supposed to be in the same armor here as he was in Halo 3 and Halo 4. Yet in Halo 4, his armor looks completely different. So
right. More than just like a change of color, right?
It wasn't just a change of color. It was
more than that.
Like the entire universe got an aesthetic tweak. Even the aliens looks different.
Mm-hmm.
The elites looks different, and the grunts.
It's smart to change how the world looks, but try to do the same shit.
This thing with the whole advancing technology, they're changing different console generations, and
no, they try to make it more like to what's popular now, which.
Yeah, the cinematic is intense, man.
You know what? That's the funny thing I bring up. You bring about Cinemax is that because Ubisoft and Blizzard and even Blizzard to an extent were all about releasing their games or revealing their games via cinematic trailers, and I'm like, y'all can make a movie out of it. I'm just saying, y'all put this much time into cinematics, and y'all can make a full movie about it.
Yeah,
that's like Warcraft too. Like their cinematics are so good, and they could do a movie like that.
Y'all could do a movie instead of a live action. Y'all could have done like this.
Yeah,
that was the same thing I felt with Overwatch and their animated shorts.
It's just that those like 1 to 3 minute little clips or video, however long they are, they're not that long, right? But those take like a long time.
Yeah, they take a long ass time to animate.
Yeah, so to make a movie, they'd have to ramp up essentially a whole new game team's worth of people.
They have to ramp up production as early as possible.
Movie team, boom.
Right, yeah.
It's just the cinematics team for the cinematics. They could they'd have to do a whole other thing.
I mean, in the case of Halo 2 Anniversary, the cinematics that we just watched, those were done by Blur Studios, and they're pre-rendered.
It wasn't the same cinematics for Halo 4, or at least Halo 4's opening.
Let me double check. I think so. Halo 4. Because I know it was definitely Blur also did the cinematics for Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2.
Okay.
So,
Angelus, yeah, all right. So I guess
is there any more? I mean, I think that's all. I think we covered it.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything. I know we kind of went extensive. I guess any final thoughts considering what we've been talking about this whole stream? Any kind of
the Halo 4 cinematics were in engine, so that's like
okay.
Halo cinematics. Okay. So real time.
Okay.
When we were talking about the live service thing and then the AAA titles, like how much they make, like, do we know how much more a live service game makes compared to like just a AAA title that like sells really well? Like, is it astronomically different compared to the other?
I haven't thought that, but I assume they probably
probably
don't want to reveal,
I guess, is like the top selling.
I assume they probably don't want to reveal those actual, sales figures. Like what we're saying with kind of what we saw with The Last of Us 2, where the talks about sale figures are how they get an 8% drop and doing it well its first week and such, but we're not getting like the actual. They're not releasing the actual sales figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if the live service is outselling even like your top AAA, then that makes sense why they're going to continue doing the live service model.
But I think in the most part is because the whole live service is making the money. It is making the money because it's continuous playback.
Well, here's the thing: it goes back into that whole like live services. Usually, not always, but usually employ the whole macro transactions and loot boxes.
Macro, yep.
Yeah.
Seriously, $292 fucking dollars is not micro. I'm not kidding. Valorant had $92.
Oh! I almost forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up. I remember. I remember that was last week, right? That was a big talk about the whole. You have this expensive gun in Valorant, which is like over $250, I think.
Here, and this is a story. I covered this on my podcast this past weekend. You can go and watch it. But essentially, a 21-year-old who knew it was gambling, who knew what it was, who knew he was addicted, couldn't stop himself because he needed the buzz for his addiction. Like, these are gambling. Like,
Wait, how does Valorant's system work? Are they all loot box driven?
I don't
think so. No, I don't think so. It's direct.
Okay. So what was gambling? What was he? Oh, on FIFA. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. Young did a video about that. How
I spent like 2 hours covering this.
This one. Basically, his mom was diagnosed with cancer. And him spending all of his college savings and life savings on the card packs and FIFA while he was in school.
That's crazy.
Yeah, at the point where he was hiding it, so that's why he didn't know how much he was spending.
Yep.
Now I've spent a lot of money on some stuff.
I'm
but I've never been that bad.
Here, like he searched for a way to cope, but the buzz was.
Nina Infinity blasted me last week.
What am I?
Don't do this. Don't buy these stuff.
I'm just making. Yeah, you were just.
Hey, Dolphine.
I was threatening you.
Yeah. Last week, because I was talking about me, I'm guilty of it the most. So I'm. Dolphine, hey, how's it going?
If you ask me, none of it's okay. Microtransactions or loot boxes, none of it's okay.
And the whole skin bait, whole making it like all cosmetic is just it's too much of an excuse. I just don't buy that anymore.
I like making my character look a certain way, and now you're limiting me because I don't want to spend real money. But at the same, you're locking all these cool skins behind a paywall.
Yeah, it definitely should go back to the old school where you had to do specific things in the game to unlock them.
Or had to do because probably just because players would feel that would be too easy to get the skins they want to be doing these certain tasks.
Well, here's the thing:
having to do like a heavy amount of grinding.
Even with microtransactions and no loot boxes, they make it a grind to get anything in game because they want you to use the in-game store where you pay for real money.
Yep.
Like they'll make they'll make it so it takes like 40 hours to get this certain gun, or you can pay $15 and get the gun.
But we could have like a whole stream on this. But if we do, I want to.
I did a whole stream on this.
I want to have a culture here when we do.
I think if you're going to do a whole, the thing with the macro transactions, and I know it's why everybody's covered it. I think it'd be better if we had culture on here, all five of us, do like kind of an interesting kind of talking about that and. Let's see, but it's interesting. It's interesting to see that the UK, at least the UK Parliament, is really making this whole gambling thing a big deal.
Wasn't there a country that already has it? Has this kind of stuff banned already?
I think Netherlands. I think it's Netherlands. I don't know if it's
Belgium.
Netherlands. Belgium. Yeah.
That's it.
Belgium. Yeah, Belgium's already got that lockdown. It's to the point where, most of the
And EA was like the last company to like comply.
Even 2K was begging its customers to.
But yeah, like I covered this literally a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. No, not this, but earlier on in the episode where we started talking about the loot boxes and everything, how awful it is. It's like and there's countless stories. Like I have literally articles upon articles in hard drives full of this stuff. Like I have stuff from 2 years ago. I have stuff from last year. I got stuff from this year. It sucks. We shouldn't be seeing this. Like a lot of kids with either disabilities or just kids that don't know any better. Or in the case of the guy that we were just talking about, he did know better, but he was addicted and couldn't help it.
Yep, we've heard those stories.
It's a disease, so
yeah, it's a chemical. It's a chemical drug.
The dopamine that he needs.
Dopamine.
Open to loot box. So
yeah.
Well,
Do we have any?
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Do you think I could bring one more topic?
Yeah,
Just
sure.
one more. We'll try to be quick. So Merc, I saw the autoplay that you had Upper Echelon's video on the BAFTA Awards. How do you feel about this whole thing? And it is going to go into politics a little bit, but essentially, what the BAFTA? Okay, so we all know the Oscars are a joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, pretty much.
The BAFTA Awards, which is the Video Games Awards, they're now making like the whole inclusivity, diversity, all the stuff, representation.
It's a requirement.
They're making it. Yeah, they're making it an absolute requirement from now on in future games to even get selected or even nominated. And I'm wondering, how do you guys, just like a quick kind of
wait? What are they making mandatory?
Okay, so let me see if I could pull up an article about that.
Well, just summarize it again real quick because I was
sorry.
BAFTA
Awards, they do British Academy of Film and Television Arts. What they're doing in terms of video games, for video games to be nominated, they now have like a set of rules with more focusing on diversity, inclusivity, and representation.
Because it did films.
Yeah, they have to be tested.
Basically, they have to have a check mark. Like they have to check mark those, and they have to meet all those things before they can even be nominated.
Hang on. Let's see if I can share my screen. Let me share my screen. Okay, share. Okay, so give my screen up. All right, so this is from GameIndustry.biz. BAFTA Games Awards interest to be tested on BFI diversity standards. BAFTA plays.
Can you link to that article in the private chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
And it's right here. Okay, it's in the private chat. Now, so essentially what they're doing is, I think from 2021 and onwards, they have a criteria now, and it's going to be based on these kind of 4 different criteria. So I'll just kind of zoom in a little bit. So for games to be, entrants and nominated, they have to fill in these kind of requirements. Basically, in-game representation, themes and narratives, create a creative leadership and development team, industry access and opportunities, and player-based development. And essentially, it's having all those check boxes and such, not only in game but in the team as well. So say if you have say if you have a team, say if you like come out like you hired like the best people, we create like the best game of that year, everybody loves it and such, and it doesn't get nominated because of there's not enough of like this kind of this kind of skin color, this kind of tone narrative in the game, and the creative team behind it, like say if you hired like the best people to make a great game, and everybody is white, so there's not enough like women, or there's not enough people of color in the development team, not in the game but in the development team, you won't get nominated. See, it's like 50-50, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, I had to bring this up because I saw the upper echelon thumbnail in Mando's video. So, but I just want to kind of get your it's just kind of just a quick kind of thoughts about this.
Yeah, I think that's dumb as hell. Like you can't put restrictions on art like that. Like, especially if you're making look at God of War.
Mm-hmm.
Look at even the newest one. It takes place up in the north, where it's all white people.
It's all Nordic. It's all Nordic folklore. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all it's biology,
Mm-hmm.
So they're up there. It's a story full of white people dealing with white people problems. In magical terms. And like,
you want to be the straightforward.
A great story, a very touching story. About parenthood and family and stuff, and then that wouldn't be nominated. Or look at Makini, I feel like you're gonna know what game I'm talking about. What's the game where you roll everything up and you make a bigger and bigger snowball, and then you end up rolling up cars?
Katamari.
Katamari Damacy.
Yes, Katamari. That game's full of Japanese people and a Katamari. So what? Like, why? Why are you? What about animals that feature all
Animal Crossing's out of the question. Animal Crossing's out of the question.
Yeah, like no.
All animals.
Isn't diverse enough? What do you mean?
There's not humans.
Where's the gay bear? Or where's the black bear? Why aren't there different colored bears?
All right, I'm back.
Yeah. I think I'm more. It's kind of it's what we're seeing in pop culture right now. It's what we're seeing in Star Wars, what we're seeing in comics, small comics, entertainment. It's what we're seeing in entertainment right now. And everybody within the Fandom Menace, we've all been talking about this, and it's always been in us. And this is something that's always been, had their foot in games for a while now. For years now, it's always been this kind of thing.
Here's the other side to that, though. I come from an area where I grew up. There was a lot of Black and Latin people.
Right.
Some people. There was a unicorn of an Asian here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But like that was the demographics of where I grew up.
Right.
And so when you had people working together on something, generally speaking, they were black and brown. You might have a white guy in the mix. But those were the demographics of the region. So imagine being in a neighborhood that has a lot of minorities. You got some Middle Eastern people, some black people, and then they decide to work together to make a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do they qualify now? Because where's the white guy? Where's the Latin person? Where's where's the why don't you get Europe? Why don't you get an African in here? Why don't you get
Well, that's the problem. It's all fine until it's like it's racism, but you're not calling it racism. You're calling it representation, diversity, or inclusion. Because someone correct me if I'm wrong, but being racist to a white guy is still racist.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter just because someone's black or white or Asian or whatever. It's still racist. It doesn't matter. Like just because evil men, white men, bad, whatever. That seems to be all the rage these days.
It's impractical because of the manpower of the people power. Like sometimes the resources that you have available to you just isn't that, and you happen to have a small team of
it's small. It's like controlling the uncontrollable. Like you're trying to control factors that are just impossible to control. You can't control what color of skin someone is. You get them the way it should be is you get whoever's right for the job, and that's that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And there is a lot of representation in the industry. There's a lot. Like It's a very diverse community, and people from all over the world mod games and play games. I know a guy that is he from Spain, I think. Yeah, he's from Spain. He did a sick mod of I don't remember what game, and the studio saw it and they were like, "You did this, by yourself? You want a job here?" And they flew him out and like hired him right then. And so that's prevalent in the game industry. So these people are coming from a place of knowing nothing about the game industry. They're just assuming that it's all white folk, and you need
It's
to
a bunch
get
of white supremacists.
yeah.
It's
England of all places. Freaking
it's the same thing we see in everywhere else. So it's this is
Yeah, I mean,
it's
Like
just
the deer lady said, gamers are white supremacists.
apparently, I
my
that thing, yeah, where gamers are not like, if you're gamers with a capital G, you're, I guess, racist, bigoted motherfucker. Because
Pretty much.
my thing is that having these kind of standards for your games to be nominated. You're gonna stifle creativity real quick. It's gonna stifle creativity real quick. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
It's just having that kind of that mindset, and especially what we're seeing.
You
And
might end up seeing independent creators self-publish stuff.
Yeah, you're not going to see, and I think that's going to happen at some point. Like we're seeing in the comics, in the comics is just a lot of self-publishing, and I think the same thing is going to happen with gaming, is that there's going to be a lot more self-publishing in the future not because of just this, but because of what we see in the AAA industry and pressing downwards. So there's going to be.
There already is a lot of self-publishing in games, and it's been going up and up and up since it started.
Yeah.
But I think if this is just an award, then it's not necessarily going to change the way that developers function. But they'll just go, okay, I guess we won't be eligible. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just to the point where they'll create their own award show.
Yeah, and I think it's going to appeal.
They're going to nominate a bunch of shitty games that meet.
Yeah, and it's just going to be like you'll tell like which are the kind of the developers or which are the companies that are gonna focus on appealing to that. You'll see where their appeal is with the kind of some development studios and such. Like kind of like what I looked at in the what their standards is. This looks like something that Naughty Dog would be nominated off the bat. For Last of Us 2,
Mm-hmm.
It's just I feel like this something is you're gonna stifle creativity, you're gonna stifle innovation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be in it. It's not gonna be as innovative as you guys want it to be. And especially, when we say this with pop culture in general, is that, it's something that we already have. Your standards is something that the game industry already has. It's something that, we all have. Everybody has, and here it's just not helping. I don't trust. I think I stopped trusting Metacritic after the whole Last of Us 2 scandal. I stopped trusting Metacritic, and I just trust YouTube nowadays for reviews and such. So
yeah,
and I know a lot of my favorite games will definitely not be BAFTA award winners or award winners in the VGAs later on this year.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think we need to do. I think we need to do that though. I don't know. It'd be interesting if you want to do a live stream of the video game awards.
I think some people do it, but for like kicks, like they make fun and jokes and post fun and everything. Well,
could we do that? Like, would our stream get cut or what?
well,
It depends, because Young does it every year.
My Avengers stream is still up, but my Sony one is not, because they took it down. YouTube took it down and blocked it because trailer footage from Grand
Yeah,
Theft Auto
maybe
5
not.
trailer.
Maybe not. Maybe we could do like a round table afterwards.
Yeah, I know certain companies are really.
Yeah.
Now, I just upload the video
Bad.
again, or I'll dispute it, so I don't care, and I'll do the
Mhm.
live thing. But yeah, we can do a review here.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good round table discussion on this, like what, because the Game Awards that's later on this year. So
And maybe you guys can join me in a live reaction or whatever on Discord. So
yeah, that could be fun. Definitely.
because it'll go on my channel, so that's why you guys want to work.
When is that? When is the Video Game Awards?
Video Game Awards is this? Let me check.
Runner Studios.
Oh, there.
The VGAs, I think they're
Showing
still
up on the-
going.
yeah.
I think they're still going for it. I don't know if they're doing it this year, or because of COVID-19. I don't know. I think let me see what happened this year. Usually in December. It's usually going to be in December. I guess it's going to be. It's going to be in December, but I'm not sure. I think they're going to do it this year because of COVID-19. Or they might do it like a stream or something, but they probably will. It's probably provide. But yeah.
But we should probably start wrapping up. And
Yeah.
You can plug. Everybody can plug their channels. I guess we'll start with you, Kai, again.
All right. Hey, everybody. I host a trivia board game every Sunday here on YouTube. I don't know if there are links in the description, but you can look up Trivia Battle Arena if you're curious, and come have some fun with us. Next.
Are we gonna do the same order, or are we gonna?
Well, you're already talking, so go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm happy to be on board this week's 4Games Talk Game stream. My name is Machiny90. I am an artist. You can find me on YouTube, Machiny90, where I post my time-lapse videos. I hope to have one this week, hopefully tomorrow, or if not this weekend. I hope to have another time-lapse coming by Saturday. You can also find me on Instagram, same name, Machiny90. It's where I'm the most active. I do my daily posts and such, or post art and such. And then I also have a Teespring store where you can get some of my shirt designs. Stephen Walton's been talking about it all over the place. They've been promoting the heck out of it. I am a. You can find me on most Fandom Menace streams. I'm a mod on John Talks. I'm a mod on author Stephen Walton. And I'm also, as of yesterday, I am a mod on Sporking News podcast stream. So you guys will find me wherever the Fandom Menace is. Or Fandom Menace is live stream, you guys will find me in the chat. So happy to be here.
And I guess that.
You know what's funny about that, Machiny?
Uh-huh.
I was looking for you one time. It was a Friday, and I was in like 2 or 3 live streams, and I was just typing at Machiny, like at MA, and then your name wouldn't pop up. I was like, where the hell is he? Like I want to ask him if he wants to be on the show next week.
Yeah, I think you asked me. That was last week, right?
Yeah. I think last week.
So yeah, I got Mando Merc, also known as Casting Shadows. I got 2 channels. I got my personal channel being Mando Merc, where I do gameplay videos and goof off, do shenanigans. And then I have my Cast in the Shadows channel, where I do my podcast, news channels, live reactions, and hopefully reviews. So.
I want to ask something, though. Are you, when on the release day of Cyberpunk 2077, are you going to do like a whole live stream?
I'm planning on getting
or
it on release, not pre-ordering. I'm planning on getting it on release and then live streaming on Twitch.
Okay.
Every time I play it.
Okay.
So like this way, whoever's in the chat is essentially playing with me. Like I'm gonna ask people like, hey, like I have a decision coming up. Like what do you guys think?
And you can, and then I guess in the following 4 Guys Talk game stream, afterwards, you could do like an initial. We could do like a roundtable discussion or like a kind of initial thoughts. Because I know the anticipation's high for everybody, and even me.
All right. You guys can follow me here if you haven't already, and thanks everybody for joining us. Saturday, I'm probably gonna have since I just hit 100 subs, I'm gonna have a little celebration stream probably where we just kind of shoot the shit or whatever. And then usually later Saturday, me, Shadows, Trace, and Fuel the Hatred, we usually play Fortnite or whatever game we can all play together, either on my channel or his channel, and they're linked to my channel already. So, all right, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Take care.